everyone. Thank you for such a warm welcome. I'm Kate Marsden, and I head up Global Brand Partnerships here at Canva. I'm so thrilled and honoured to be sharing the stage with ColorCreative, who are one of our entertainment partners. We'll get them introduced in a moment. But I just wanted to set the scene as to why Canva and why are we partnering with entertainment. I know we all know that entertainment is truly the industry that shapes and defines our culture. But when you think about the people behind the camera, the professionals like the ones we've got on stage here, the need for them to be able to express their ideas with such visual impact is absolutely mission critical. And so it's just such a natural evolution for Canva to be partnering with people, organisations like ColorCreative, who are super value aligned to our mission and who are empowering creatives. And so it helps us to achieve our mission to empower the world to design. And I couldn't be more proud to say that ColorCreative were our first partners in entertainment. So let's get these folks introduced. We'll go down the line. Talitha, let's start with you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you all for being here. I'm Talitha Watkins. I'm the president and head of management at ColorCreative Management and Productions.
I am Mariah Johnson, and I'm the program director for the Find Your People program.
Hi, everybody. My name is Maya Miller. I am a producer from Atlanta, Georgia, and also one of the first cohort 1 producers for the program.
Ow!
Officially an alumni, by the way. Officially alum.
And what's going on, everybody? My name is BP Edwards. I am a cinematographer and filmmaker, and I am a part of Cohort 1 for the Find Your People program as well. Thank you for being here.
Woo! And if you think BP looks familiar, you're not mistaken. He is also all around Canva Create as one of our incredible models. So you're a multi-hyphenate for sure, BP.
All the things, all the things.
All the things. Okay, let's kick off. Talitha, I want to start with you. Can you share a bit about who ColorCreative is and what inspired the Find Your People program?
Thank you, Kate. So ColorCreative was the brainchild of South LA's own Issa Rae and Denise Davis. When Issa and Denise first kind of transitioned from being digital creators into having their first studio deal with HBO, one of the things they realized is that they were going to be kind of leveling up and shifting into a new gear. And they didn't want to leave behind the community that they brought with them and found ColorCreative to be a platform to host events like this on a smaller scale, give back information, knowledge, introductions to people who wanted to follow in their footsteps. So that's how ColorCreative was born. And within that ethos, after many years of, hosting pilot programs and funding different content initiatives, even a lab at Columbia Pictures, which is now going to be a film, they realized through some feedback from the industry that they were actually doing the job of a representative and doing it really well. And they should really, put that energy towards turning ColorCreative into a full-service management company. And they took the time very intentionally to find the people who would do this. And some of the ColorCreative managers are here. And we launched the ColorCreative Productions and Management Company. And the reason that we're here talking about Find Your People is because in launching the management company, we didn't want to leave behind that ethos in where we started. We didn't want to forget the up-and-coming creators, the emerging creators, the people who, you may have been doing something else, but now you're entering this industry and you want to find a way and you want to find your people. So that's where Find Your People was born. And that's how we created ColorCreative and Find Your People.
Amazing. But Find Your People, yeah, absolutely. Find Your People started as a party. And now, as we're going to explain, it's a 6-month short film incubator program. Tell us about, what inspired that and how do you grow it from a party to now what it is today?
Well, we like to party at Hooray. That's something you all know about Issa and all her companies. And one of the things that we saw an opportunity to do was bring groups of people who are normally working together, but in a collegial environment, in a party environment, and see who kind of clicks and connects. So in March of 2020, y'all all remember what y'all were doing in March of 2020? Right before that moment when everything shut down was the very first Find Your People party. And what Issa and Denise did at that time was they brought together all of the disciplines that are behind the camera for making a great project. The cinematographers, the editors, the costume designers, production designers, producers, all the Avengers, if you will, that have to come together to make a project happen. And they wanted to see kind of like how those groups clicked and interacted with each other. And what they found was that they were desperate for this time. They were immediately drawn to one another. They were introducing themselves, pitching themselves to each other, creating connections. And after that event, we sent out a prompt to them and said, hey, after this little 2-week break that we're all gonna take, if you guys come back to us with a project, with the people who you found, we'd love to figure out if ColorCreative can give you the funding and the resources necessary to make that project. And it really ladders on a principle that Issa talks about a lot, and that is a bit of the ethos of who we are, which is networking across. Like, if you look to your left and your right, the people who are here are people just like you. They're creators. They use this incredible platform of Canva to stay connected and to create opportunities for themselves and for the people around them. So that was the idea. It's like, instead of worrying about punching up so much and meeting the person on the stage, meet the person next to you. Maybe there's someone who can help you to get even one step further in your mission. So that was the intent of the party. And we built it into a program after, a couple years going through the pandemic and seeing what was then needed in the entertainment industry. We figured, why don't we take that prompt idea and really turn it into a program where we could invite incredible creators like my MVP and some of the cohort in the audience here to be a part of an official program where we can work with partners to give them something really special.
Amazing. Let's take a look at what you guys created.
We had an amazing pitch. I think we had an amazing design tool. Shout out to Canva.
The mentorship's been immense. Thank you to ColorCreative, Issa, Dini, Talitha, and everyone, because I really found my people.
All right, I'm going to turn to you, Mariah. So as Talitha was saying, you've launched this program. You get an overwhelming response. Tell us a bit about what the response was, and just unpack the program a little bit more for us as well.
Yeah, I would love to. First, thank you to everyone for being here. Thank you to the first-year cohort. There's a lot of them out here with us today. So when I joined ColorCreative, I was really fortunate because the program was still just a sentence on the page, and I really got to partner with them to bring it to life. And the intention that ColorCreative has behind everything they do, it is felt throughout every single moment of the program. And so we were really lucky. We didn't put any marketing or we had one press release behind the program, but somehow through kind of word of mouth and organic marketing and the need really for this program to exist, we were able to have 1,500 applicants from 38 US states and 6 different countries. We, from that, basically ended up with a cohort size of 28 creatives. And so we chose 4 different creatives from 7 different disciplines. I'm going to throw a lot of numbers at you, but stick with me. So from that, basically, we took one from each discipline and created 4 different production teams. So on one team was a writer, director, producer, cinematographer, editor, costume designer, production designer. And what their first project was to come up with a long line. And if you're not from entertainment, like I'm not from entertainment, basically, that's like a sentence or 2 to describe what the film you're going to work toward is. So that was their first step. And then the writers had I'm looking at Nzinga right now, I think 2 weeks maybe to come up with the first draft. And we paired each of them with a mentor within their discipline. And so they were able to pair with a writer discipline to kind of formalize that draft. And then the teams worked together on a pitch. And this is really a huge way that Canva partnered with us to help the creatives bring their vision to life and to pitch their ideas. So we basically said, if you pitch a solid idea, we'll give you $50,000 to go and make that film. But if the pitch isn't there, you're not getting the money. So they had to earn the money. And so the pitch was the first way they did that. They pitched their short film ideas. Luckily, all of them received the green light. So
we were going to give them a second chance.
Yes. I like to make it sound more cutthroat.
We're going to give them a second.
There's some year 2 cohort members
Simon.
here too, so I'm trying to make them feel the intensity. So yeah, that's sort of the idea behind it, and then they went on to make the short films, and we just premiered for the second time, but the big premiere of the films on 2 days ago. So
amazing, yeah. The films are incredible. I can't wait for you all to see them. So Mariah, you started to touch a little bit about how Canva was infused throughout the program. Would love to unpack that a little bit more, because it was so important for Canva to be integrated in a really genuine way that was truly empowering these creatives. So would love you to share a bit how it was used.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all of you are at Create, and I think you can feel sort of the energy of the space as you walk through, and I have experienced that in a really intimate way. So Rebby, I'm going to do it. Is she here?
Is Rebby here?
Rebby, where is she? Oh, there she is.
There she is.
That's Rebby Silverman, and she has been my partner throughout this entire experience. And the best thing about partnering with Canva is there was never any mandate or push of you have to use Canva and it has to be integrated. That was never their intent. It was always, how can we empower your creatives? How can we create the solutions that you need to go out and do what you need to do? And I mean, I wish we had more cohort members. They're going to speak to how it empowered them in just a moment. But there are really 2 meaningful ways that it integrated really naturally into our program, and that was pitch and print. And so as creatives, if you're like a costume designer or a production designer or, a cinematographer, you might not know some of these more intense tools like Photoshop and these things that you really need a lot of time to bring together your creative vision into a design that other people are going to think looks good, right? And so really empowering each discipline who may not have the technical skills on how to bring their visual vision to life to present before a cohort. Obviously you all have used Canva. It's very drag and drop. It's very friendly. You can be on Pinterest and grab something really quick and drop it in and create an entire world. And all of our production teams were able to do that really powerfully to sell their vision. And so not only did they partner with us in that way, but they opened up their product team and their design team to meet with our production teams and help them kind of cull their vision to life and use all the different tools for storytelling, like using music. One of our teams used kind of a meditation to have the Greenlight Committee go through a meditation with them to bring them into the world and bring them into the space. And then the second thing, which was actually kind of, I think, a surprise for us, was print. And that was a new product that they had launched. And the thing it did for us is for our production designers who are having to create worlds, it's really, you can't just have like a bag of potato chips that's a recognizable brand in your films as a filmmaker. You have to create all this branding from scratch. And so they were able to do that in a couple of clicks. They brought on a graphic designer, and we were really lucky. They gave us some Canva bucks to print some things off, and they printed things from like actual T-shirts that their characters were wearing in the film to this banner you're seeing here, and really painted an entire world from all products that they were able to print in Canva. So I think that was something that we learned together.
Well, we absolutely learned it together. You really pushed our product, which is what we love. So thank you. You showed us new ways to use the product that we didn't know. All right, let's hear from 2 of the people that went through the first year of the program, shall we? So, Maya, I'm going to turn to you first. You get into first year of the program, as Mariah said, you're one of 28 from 1,500 applicants. You're not from LA, you're from Atlanta, so you literally came here to find your people. You're given a budget of $50,000. Tell us about your creative process kind of early on, day one. Like, what's going through your mind? How'd you approach it?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for the question. For me, I think one thing to really say just off the bat, as cliche as it may sound, in order to find your people, you have to truly get to know your people. As they mentioned earlier, you have so many people coming from so many different backgrounds, so many different experience levels, so many different cities. Like you said, I came from Atlanta. And so when you have so many different people a part of this program, I think that's one of the things that made it so unique. I really felt like we were bringing so many unique minds to the same space. And so in order to really be able to do something as tremendous, but also difficult at times in making a film, you really need to know who you're working with. And so my approach, especially as a producer, was let me actually get to know who my team is. Let me know what their experience levels are. Let me ask how they prefer to communicate. Let me know what their strengths are, what intrigues them. And so with my team, what we did in the very beginning was we decided to get together and just talk about who we are. I think when you're really working together in something in a way where you're going to be bringing so much creativity to the forefront, the main thing that you have to do is really know what you all can connect on, what makes you tick, and that was something that really helped us from the very, very, very beginning. So.
Amazing. Love to hear, same question to you, BP. What did that early stage creative process look like when you're meeting these people for the first time? Talk us through it.
I think that the two biggest points that I really came into when I was walking into the first day for the Find Your People program was cohesion and intention. Really wanting to make sure that I wasn't just being a number in a room, but actually taking the time to gravitate towards the people that were going to be going on with this journey with us. So a lot of my team, actually some of my teammates are in the audience right now, there was a lot of intention behind getting to know one another, being on the same page, getting to know our strengths, weaknesses, how we can support one another, and truly finding people that would best support us in our journey as we're going through the filmmaking process, and developing a pitch that was incredibly cohesive and important to developing a cohesive brand. I like to use the word cohesion because that really was the strength that our program had to do in order to get to a place that we could really put together a program that was special.
So, Maia, you've got 7 people rallying together. You know, talk to us about that collaboration process. You know, unpack that a bit more for us. How did you, and you know, Talitha and Mariah touched on this. You know, you're moving towards the moment of the pitch, the live pitch, which is, you know, literally standing in front of, what was it, studio execs?
Yes, we had 5 people on our Greenlight committee, and it was akin to like a Shark Tank-like presentation. We let them know, like, there's going to be a stage, these people have the key to your project, and you have to wow them, and they're going to have questions. So we had a development executive from our own company, Hooray. We had a marketing executive from our company, Hooray, because that's typically what's in a studio pitch. We had a tried and true director who had gone from a short to selling his show, Morgan Cooper from Bel Air. And then we had one of our ColorCreative managers who had produced over 20 films and had been at Sundance every year, so she was there to look at it. And then we had a film financier, someone who's going to really look at, does this seem like a fiscally responsible thing for our company to do? So they had to get in front of those people with their sometimes 30-page decks in 20 minutes to pitch. So it was incredible. So I'd love to hear how you guys started the process.
Yeah, for sure. So, of course, as you just mentioned, that was a lot, right? When it comes to the pitch process, I can tell you right now that there were so many of us who had not done this before. So we're coming into the space kind of like, you know, nervous, uncertain, and so it was so important to be able to also, as a team coming from all different parts of the country and working together, having access to really effective tools was super, super helpful. And for me, I don't know about a lot of you all, but I'm a visual learner, and so one of the best tools that I think that we were able to use through Canva was the whiteboards. Oh my gosh. If you are like a scientific brain and just get mad scientists and just want to start putting sticky notes all over the place, but again, when you're in different parts of the country, how are you able to do that? And Canva gave us that opportunity to do so. And so all of my team was able to literally share their ideas. We were able to get similar languages into spaces and things of that nature by being able to visually see it in live time. And I think that was super exciting.
And this is your real whiteboard.
Yeah, and it's so crazy to look at it right now because it's like the idea has shifted so much. The name changed, the characters changed, but this was where it started, and this is so great because you rarely are able to, I think, do that in a way when you have so many people from so many different places. And so, yeah, shout out to the whiteboard.
And I'll say, as a rep, as someone who represents writers at every level, I'd never seen this tool utilized in this way before in such a creative way. So it was kind of a discovery for us with the amazing Rebby, pointing out that this could be a tool to facilitate that kind of interaction in building out the idea. And now it's something that we suggest to our clients as a way to collaborate, as a way to share ideas.
I love that. And it's, something that's great about the whiteboard, and certainly we were chatting before about the strikes last year, but writers' rooms went virtual. So, instead of the sticky notes up on literal glass windows, they had to go virtual. So this is where our product is helpful. BP, tell us a little bit about how you used Canva and your team and your cohort.
Right. A big piece of what our creative conversations surrounded a little bit into the presentations format. So the presentations we essentially used as our deck and had each discipline within our team make their own slides for the presentation as a whole. So we really felt like we were able to create a visually aesthetically pleasing thing. As a cinematographer, aesthetics are everything. So we wanted to really emphasize the importance of not only being able to show our pitch committee what it was that we were looking to accomplish with the money that they were looking to give us, but then also being completely emotionally attached to the story and being able to take the writing that Brian came with, the direction that Aisha came with, and the producing that Vivi came with, and really put our own individual spins on things to make sure that we were, again, one cohesive brand and unit as we walked into a pitch deck, and we're ultimately able to shoot the project. So I really loved using Canva because it made conversations easy. It made us able to engage with one another. It made us able to communicate across the space, across lines of communication, because as a cinematographer, I don't always necessarily know the best way or approach, and I learned so much just using and looking at other people's slides. I was like, oh, okay, that's how a costumer would be able to tell us what a character is supposed to look like in a project. So it was really useful to be able to use those presentations in that format. It was very helpful.
So I want to helicopter out a little bit now. So we touched on literally 2 days ago, we were all together. We've spent all week together, which I love, at Sony Studios in Culver City, where these films premiered, which was an amazing moment. But literally 12 months before, almost to the day, was the moment where these cohorts met each other for the first time. So, how's your mindset changed, Maia? How's it evolved?
Man, I would say right now, I have a found new sense of clarity as a producer. Coming into this experience, I feel like I was kind of set in terms of like what it was that I knew I was good at, what certain things I needed to maybe work on. But this experience honestly stretched me in so many ways. I feel like I grew as a producer, as a leader in so many instances. And one of the big things that I feel like through an experience like this, when you're tested, it's also your mindset, the constant way in which you're, stepping into spaces. And I'm going to give credit to Mariah right here because she gave us the term optimistic grit. And ever since, that has become like a code of mine. And so as of lately, I've just realized, like, at this point, in every situation that you walk into, nothing is supposed to just be easy. Each of these experiences that you walk into are supposed to stretch you in some kind of way. And the best thing that you can do is have the paradigm shift of saying, I'm right where I need to be. I can do this. I'm capable. I'm equipped. And honestly, just keep a positive attitude. And so that's where I'm at now.
I think for me, too, I want to shout out to Letha and everyone at ColorCreative because what we say is when, like, let's say a director and a writer aren't getting along, we call that the real work because at the end of the day, anybody can put a pitch together and, can go in front of the judges and pitch an idea and go make a movie. But how are you growing as a human being? How are you growing in your mindset? So I really love this question.
I love the optimistic grit. You taught me that too, so thank you. BP, how's your mindset changed or things evolved?
And I've actually had time to think about this question, so I didn't realize just how much I needed this. And there's a certain level of validation that you are looking for as a creative that can I make it in this industry? Is this industry something that I can actively work towards a tangible, feasible goal? And then to have people like Talitha Watkins, a Mariah, Ashley Calloway, who's been incredible with investing into me, and Jamari Perry. Where's Jamari at? Jamari, you in here?
She's
Hey,
here.
there she is.
Like, just knowing that these phenomenal people are looking at you and saying, hey, you can, and we want to continue to pour into you and to invest into you, that is not an accident. That's something that God gives. And the opportunity to continue to do the work that you are called to is something that's so incredibly important. So when I started in this program, I never once thought that I would make it this far. Like, I bought my first camera in a Home Depot parking lot for $300. Like, I did not think that I was getting this far. So to be on a stage to talk about pitching for $50,000 to film a project like we filmed, like Contours, it was such a phenomenal experience. And I wish that level of grace for every person that's pursuing this platform, pursuing creative excellence, pursuing a career in entertainment, that you can. You definitely can. So I had to train myself to believe that I could, and I have y'all to thank for that. So thank you so much.
I receive it. Thank you. Billboard level grace.
Billboard level grace. I'm on a thing over there.
All right, I think we've got time for a quick throw forward. You know, we've heard all about this incredible Find Your People program, but Talitha, just give us a quick throw forward. What's your dream? What's next for Find Your People?
You know, I've been inspired just even by the incredible black box theater presentation we just had in the YouTube theater. And like, just it really gave me an opportunity to think a little bit more about work design, work redesigned. And every year we go into the program, we go into it knowing that we're going to learn something. And part of learning is making mistakes, and part of learning is, you know, taking critical feedback. And we took some really, really good feedback from the first year cohort. Shout out to them for being super honest with us. And we've already made a shift, and we've added composers this year, which is an area that we think is really going to elevate the work that we're doing. So I think as we throw forward, we're going to keep shifting, keep innovating, keep redesigning what this is, with the deep intention of knowing that it's really about finding your people. As Mariah said, that's the real work.
I love that. Okay, rapid fire to end it. I think you've given a lot of inspirational, each one of you, thoughts for us to take away. But one piece of advice, whether there's any of the second year cohort or people that might think about applying for Find Your People program in the future, what's one piece of advice you would give them, or in fact any creative in this crowd along their journey that they can take away today? We'll go. Start with you, Talitha, and go down.
Yeah, mine is going to be easy. I say this to a lot of people. Start with intention. Know what your intention is, and then build everything upon that foundation.
I'm just going to take one quick second to let you know, this woman right here, Talitha Watkins, Google her. She has, I am so honored I get to work with her every day. This program is special because of you, and so I just want to make sure everybody knows this wouldn't even exist if it weren't for you. So thank you
Yes, ma'am.
so
Yes,
much,
ma'am.
Talitha Watkins.
My honor.
And actually, I had something I was going to say, but then I walked into Canva Create, and over to my left was like, I don't know, 10 different cohort members from year one. Then I looked to my right, there were ColorCreative managers. And I'm new to LA, and I would imagine a lot of people are here, and it's really hard to build community. And I think my takeaway from this year is, like, it just takes time. Like, we've been all working together for a year now, and now they feel like family. So, you know, if you're looking for your community and your places, I think just invest in, you know, those awkward coffee dates and follow up for a second one. And if they say no, that's okay, but try and just keep working at it, because that's the only way you can get to that place where you finally find your people. And then when you find them, you know, they don't go anywhere. They're just going to always be there, so.
Alrighty, so I would say a piece of advice, it's something that my cousin recently told me, and I just have been moving with it ever since. It's just as it's a blessing that you're in the space, just also know that they are lucky to have you. And so, period. When it comes to the situation of you stepping into where you are, just know that you're equipped. You are right where you need to be. Nothing is for you that was going to miss you. And so just knowing they are also lucky to have you.
The core philosophy that I live by is don't lie and make sure your bag clears. Whatever you say you're going to do it. Whatever you can put yourself into, make sure that you do it in excellence. Your table is already prepared. It's already there for you. Your energy is there for you. As long as you are carrying good spirit with you, everything is attainable. It is all within your grasp. As long as you continue to do the right thing by the right people and to make sure that whatever you say you're going to do, you do, I guarantee you that everything will work in your favor. That favor is definitely real.
That's awesome. Thank you, Kate.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being such a warm audience, but warmest thanks to Talitha, Mariah, Maya, and BP. We hope that you find your people here at Canva Create, and we hope you've enjoyed this session. Thank you.